Uh, Hi there, my name is Olivia and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, that way you can get notified every time I post a new video. And this week, friends, cool cattens and kittens, yeah, no, we're not going there. If you watch Tiger King, you know what I'm talking about. Don't do it. Check the water, the septic tank. Yeah. Um, but that's not what we're talking about. We are talking about self-care. I am huge into self-care, and that's one thing that a lot of my friends would tell you about me, is I am all about self-care and doing what you need to do to take care of yourself. So, for me, this has been such a long journey to get to a place of not only self-acceptance, but of being okay in my own skin and knowing what I need to do to take care of myself. When I was younger, I did competitive cheerleading. I loved it. I lived in the gym for 5 to 6 days out of the week. It was school, cheerleading practice, sleep, eat, go do it all again in some order. And so that really instilled in me a lot of the habits that I'm trying to bring back and have kept up as an adult and into high school and even middle school, because I learned what it meant to fuel my body. I learned what it meant to have dedication and just be consistent. And for me, honestly, that's been something I've been struggling with in becoming an adult and moving out and living on my own. And even in college, it was up and down with working out and taking care of myself and eating right, because it's college and you're like, okay, what does the dining hall have? Nothing? Good, we're eating nothing. Um, and so it was difficult to find food that was gonna fuel my body the way that I needed it to. I think it's so important when we start this conversation, we can break it up into different categories. The first category is physical, the second category is mental, and the third category is spiritual. So let's look at the physical aspect of it. What are you doing to take care of your physical body? For me, I have irritable bowel syndrome. My stomach is super sensitive to food. I'm already lactose intolerant and arguably probably have some sort of dairy intolerance in general, because I can't even do a lot of dairy substitutes. So for me, that means eating foods that A, don't have dairy, and B, trying to find foods that are easy to break down in my stomach. So I've cut out most beef products from my diet. I eat primarily like chicken and seafood when I get a chance, and tons of fruits and vegetables. I guess the annoying thing for me is that sometimes what might work, say on Monday, on Friday, if I eat the exact same thing, my stomach could be like, ah, and and that's it. I have to toss it out for a little bit and then retry it back at a different date. So that's one way that I take care of my physical body. If you want me to make a video that shows you what I eat in a week or even in a day navigating irritable bowel syndrome, let me know in the comments down below and give this video a thumbs up. So also physical body for me, part of, again, falling under the irritable bowel syndrome, part of what helps with that is consistently exercising and being active. I like the traditional go to the gym, you lift some weights, get swole, not so swole yet, baby muscle. I like your traditional workouts where you go, you run, you lift some weights, do some squats, do some sit-ups, and that works for me. But a lot of my friends, they don't like that, and that's okay. I admire them because they're really into like yoga and stuff like that, and yoga and me are not friends. Not friends. So I wish that that was something that I would like. I'm definitely trying to incorporate more practices like that into my everyday routine because flexibility and mobility is really important, and being able to stretch and move your body is going to help with that. I work with little kids, so I'm always getting up and down and up and down and back down again. So I need to be able to do that and not get hurt. And when I first started teaching last year, it was an issue for me being able to get up and off the floor. I can sit on the ground for a couple of minutes with my students, and there was something really wrong with that for me. I didn't feel comfortable, and I feel like that was partially the final straw that broke the camel's back for me to motivate me to get back into some sort of workout routine. I would say that quarantine was the first time that I actually consistently started working out on a regular basis. Partially because I'm sitting there staring at a computer screen all day. And that, oh, like, that kills me having to sit there all day. Whereas teaching in person, we're getting up and down and moving around and walking across campus and stuff like that. So I needed an outlet to get my body moving, burn off the extra energy, and just feel good. And exercising has been really helpful for that. I like to do it either first thing in the morning when I get up or later in the afternoon when I'm done with work. And it's been a really awesome thing to look forward to. Back in November, I got the opportunity, Thanksgiving Day, to hike Cocoa Head. It's this massive, massive hike, and it's on some old train tracks that they would use in Hawaii to take supplies up the mountain and whatnot. And I never thought that I would do it, much less that soon. And that was something that was like, you know what? When I go to Hawaii, I'm gonna do this at least once before I leave. Cause like, why not? And to be honest, I died the entire time going up there. It was just step after step, and like thankfully we did it at sunrise, so I couldn't see how much farther I got to go. But getting up to the top, it was amazing. I could see so much of the island, and I was so proud that I was able to make it up there, and my body carried me up there. And I honestly, I couldn't have done it without the support of my friends that came with me and did it with me. They often humor me when I'm like, hey, let's do this crazy wild thing. And they're like, okay, sure. When's it happening? I'm like, okay. Not thinking that they would go for it, but I should know by now that they're willing to do whatever with me. So in doing Cocoa Head, it was a nice wake up call. Over the last year, I was like, why not? I'm sitting there telling myself, no, like, we're not gonna do this when, like, I haven't even tried. And Cocoa Head was that one thing that I hadn't tried. Between that and, like, I got to jump off a waterfall, water structure. I don't know. It was fun. Jumped off into the water. Um, and it was just having more and more experiences and living life to the fullest, things that truly brought me joy, that I stopped asking why and started saying why not. It led me to sign up for a half marathon. Unfortunately, it was canceled due to Corona, but like, I'm so excited to eventually get to do it when everything starts opening back up. So yeah, do more of what makes you happy. If you like to hike, go hike. If you like going for walks, go for a walk. There's so many studies that show that just walking for 15 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, it gives you so much more results than your normal gym time. Just walking. All of us walk for the most part. We have some sort of mode of transportation. And like I know I have a lot of friends that are moms. My mom is I love her. She always tells me that like her exercise is chasing after the kids all day cuz we have a two-story house, so going up and down that and like carrying laundry, and like I give it out to you moms, like you guys are killing it. Absolutely straight killing it. You don't need to go to the gym. Your normal everyday thing, killing it. Um, yeah, so just do more of what makes you happy. Whatever makes you feel good, other people are gonna notice it. For me, it was getting complimented on how I look because I don't really pay attention. I usually try to avoid mirrors, but when people around me are taking notice of the hard work that I'm putting in, that makes me feel so good. It really does. And so you got to find what makes you feel good. Number 2. All right, mental health. I cannot stress this so much. So much. Mental health is important. Just as important as your physical health, as your financial health, whatever. It is important. Um, so I've always struggled with generalized anxiety and clinical depression. It definitely spiked when I moved to college because now I was on my own, and like I remember there was one time I went in for my junior year review with the professors, and everything they said was super positive, but because I was just so worked up and my anxiety got going of the like anticipation of what was going to happen, I had a panic attack in front of my professors. And up until that point, none of them knew because I didn't tell them, much less it was still relatively new to me. And thankfully I had a faculty that was really supportive of me getting the help that I needed. And for your mental health, what helps take your mind out of the everyday? For me, it's reading. I love reading and journaling and just watching old movies, and that's what helps me stay calm and stay focused. And I haven't had a panic attack in 2 years. I want to say 2 years, and that's because I've been taking care of myself. And when I feel my anxiety and depression coming on, I address it head on. And I have an awesome support system around me. I can't not acknowledge that. That makes a big difference, whether or not you have the resources and the support around you to be able to do it. I chose to go a path of not taking medication because I feel like with my day-to-day stuff and seeing a therapist, I don't need to. Not that medication's wrong. There are some people that genuinely need it, and if that's what you need to do, then please do it. Consult your doctor and do what you need to do to get healthy so that way you can live your life to the fullest. I think often in Christian communities, mental health is often downplayed or treated as less than. Or I had a lady one time tell me, "Oh, you can pray the depression out of you. You can pray the anxiety out of you." And I'm like, "No, like I can't pray this out of me. This is how God made me. It doesn't mean that it's just going to go away." Yes, I can pray like, "God, please bring me peace. Please bring me calm." But it's a chemical imbalance in me, and I just have to ride the waves. Some days are gonna suck and some days are gonna be really awesome. So do what you gotta do. Take care of yourself. Find ways that you can take care of your mental health, distract from your every day-to-day situation. Another thing I would recommend that works for me is just going and sitting somewhere quiet. Thankfully there's a beach not too far from my house, and I can go sit there and just be quiet and be still and breathe deeply. And that's what brings me center, brings me grounded. And finally, spiritual health. Spiritual health. All right, spiritual health. Let's talk about it. So, one of one thing that I think is really cool about me that you may or may not know is I have a group of friends. We call ourselves the Golden Girls. And one thing that I really genuinely love about this group of people is we all believe so many different things. And I think it's so good to be in community with people that have beliefs different from you, because it challenges you, it grows you in your own faith, and it helps you, for me, it helps affirm my own beliefs and like why I believe what I believe. And it's just awesome to see how their faith journeys go, and they're not attacking me for being Christian, and I'm not attacking them for believing what they believe. It's a mutual respect and trust of each other, that allows the community to thrive and grow. It somehow all of us became friends. You ended up with a Christian, an atheist, a Buddhist. I think one of my friends was a Wiccan at one point. Like, just so many different faiths coming together and sitting down and breaking bread with each other is really awesome. I love those girls. Shout out Golden Girls. Love you guys. But for your spiritual health, whatever religion you practice, for me specifically, I practice Christianity. I grew up in a non-denominational church. And for me, that means taking time to do devotionals, spend time with God. For other people, it could look different, and that's okay. For me, I need my devotional time, and sometimes I'm able to do it every single day, and that's awesome. Those weeks where I can do that is awesome. It's so much fun, and I feel like I get so much out of it. But also, there's some weeks where I can only do it maybe once or twice that week, because things are super busy. Devotional time is so important, in furthering my faith and my walk with God, but not only diving into the Bible and reading that for my devotions, but finding literature that talk about Christian topics. For example, I recently read a book called The Naked Truth About Sexuality, words. The Naked Truth About Sexuality. I love this book. I really think it's important that the church talks more about sex and sexuality, and more than just saying, don't do it. like that was the message that I got growing up, was don't have sex until you're married, and we're not going to talk about it outside of that. But we live in a day and age where the media has so much sexual content that is sexualized. Even the ads that we see on TV, that not even necessarily the TV shows or movies. Why not talk about it and look at it? Because our kids are asking. Our kids want to know. I wanted to know as a kid why we were saying what we were saying. So it's really important to me to also read literature that talks about these things. Or if you don't like reading, find videos that talk about it. Jefferson Betheke, he has some really awesome videos, that talk about different topics, and it's done in a way of slam poetry, not slam poetry. Well, slam poetry. His videos are really awesome, so I encourage you to check them out. So all that to be said, we talked about a lot today. We talked about a lot today. Go out, take care of yourself, move your body, read a book, call someone you love. One thing that I think that's been really cool with quarantine is I've been able to talk to my grandparents a lot more regularly, and I adore them so much. So to be able to talk with them has been awesome. Yeah, so we did it, guys. Always dance parties. So, like this sign says back here, got TJ Maxx. Be your own kind of beautiful. Have a great day. This has been Live Your Truth. Go out, live your truth, spread some love, give someone a hug. Aloha.